My sister-in-law is an attention-hungry goblin and it's so cringe how far she'll go to be in the spotlight. I finally blew up at her. For context, my husband, 30M, and I, 26F, got married during COVID and couldn't have a big ceremony because of restrictions. Unfortunately, my family couldn't be present as they live in a different country with restrictions. Finally, with restrictions lifted, we decided to have a more traditional ceremony in my home country with my family. My husband's family came, including his parents, some friends, cousins, his sister Sarah, 32F, and her husband Matt, 28M. Sarah and Matt live on the other side of the US from the rest of the family. They had their wedding a couple of months back in their home state, and ever since then, even when our wedding wasn't a topic of conversation, Sarah would mention that she and Matt were planning to get pregnant during our wedding trip. No big deal. I just made sure to tell her that she needs to ovulate for that to happen. But other than that, I couldn't care less. What started to get annoying is when we were discussing all the activities and excursions people wanted to do so we could go ahead and book them. Sarah would always interject with, "Make sure there's enough time for Matt and me at the hotel so we can be busy making our baby." Again, kind of gross and a little annoying, but whatever, they are adults. About a week before we all left to go to my home country, Sarah and Matt arrived in our home state to spend time with family as they rarely see them. My husband, his parents, and my husband's brother and sister-in-law were sitting and chatting when Sarah blurted out that she was pregnant. We all got really excited, congratulated them, and expressed how happy we were. We started asking some questions, and Sarah said she was 2 weeks pregnant. Everyone kind of lost a little bit of excitement and said, "Wow, that's really early." We suggested waiting before telling other people, just as a lot can happen. People usually don't even know they are pregnant until at least 6 weeks, and even then, they are encouraged to wait until after the first trimester to tell people. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were very happy and excited for them, but cautioned them even more as they had experienced multiple complications before having their first child. Matt replied by saying they were only telling the people closest to them, such as his parents, her parents, and her siblings, no one else, since it was so early. Well, the next day, Sarah called her great-uncle and his wife over for drinks and decided to tell them too. She called her one aunt and uncle and told them, and by the end of the day, basically the entire extended family knew, as well as some of her mom's friends who stopped by the house and Sarah told. With each person Sarah told, Matt got more agitated as they had agreed to only tell a select few people. Matt finally gave up and asked her why she doesn't just post it on Facebook as it will be quicker, to which she replied she wants to but thinks it will be frowned upon. My husband came to me and said it feels like she is trying to draw attention away from us and our wedding, as she is known to do anything and everything to have the spotlight on her. I told him not to worry about it, as when we are in my home country, she won't know many people, so she won't say anything. He agreed but went to his parents and told them what he was feeling and asked if they could politely suggest that she keep it to herself when we left for the trip. They agreed that it was valid for him to feel that way as they know she hates it if the focus is not on her. Anyway, we left for the wedding, and I saw my mom for the second time in 5 years. Obviously, it was a very emotional reunion, but we wiped off our tears quickly and sat down for a meal with my husband's family. After I introduced her to everyone, the waiter took our order, and the first thing Sarah said to my mom was, "Your daughter probably already told you, but I won't be drinking this trip." My mom said that it's no problem, you don't have to drink to have fun, and that Sarah will still have fun even if she chooses not to drink. Sarah interrupted my mom to tell her it's not by choice that she is not drinking, but that she is pregnant. Keep in mind, this was 10 minutes after she met my mom. My mom said congratulations and kept on with another conversation. Sarah interrupted my mom again and told her how she is 2 weeks pregnant and just so excited. My mom, who practices medicine, then told Sarah the same thing we did, that she should probably wait until she is in her second trimester to tell people, and Sarah completely ignored her. The same thing happened with my aunt, cousins, uncles, sister, and grandparents, all of whom she had never met before. My husband yet again spoke to his parents and asked them to please tell her to keep it private because it feels as though she is purposefully trying to take the attention away from our wedding. They said they would talk to her. Matt actually came up to us and apologized, saying he agrees that it has gotten out of hand and that the number of people who know is way more than the number they agreed upon. Fast forward, we are sitting and eating while we wait for one of our excursions. A family that I lived with for 3 years when I first moved to my husband's country flew out for the wedding and met up with us for lunch. Keep in mind, they have never met Sarah. The wife and I are talking about the wedding and all the arrangements while Sarah sits across from us and listens to the conversation. My husband ordered some shots for everyone at the table, but when his mom said she didn't want one, he told the server to -1. Sarah heard him ordering the shots and went off, yelling across the table, "I can't drink. You know I can't drink a shot. Why would you order me one?" Everyone kind of stopped and looked at her for a moment before my husband said, "It's not a problem as Matt said he wants to." Everyone then continued their conversation, including the wife and me. Sarah interrupted me and continued to make a big fuss over how my husband ordered her a drink when he knows she's not drinking. The wife then said, "It's okay because Matt said he'll drink it, so it's not going to waste." Sarah then repeated how annoying it is that my husband ordered her a shot, and I said not to worry because I'll just drink it if Matt doesn't want it. She kept doing this until I finally told the wife she's not drinking because she is pregnant. The wife said congratulations and asked how far along she is, then also advised her to be careful about telling too many people. This situation happened about 3 more times in the week leading up to the wedding. Now, the last time it happened, she was telling my high school friends at the wedding how sick she has been, but no one asked why she was sick. They were just empathetic in saying they hope she feels better. They came over to talk to me, and she followed, again complaining about how sick she has been and kind of pushing them to ask why she has been feeling so sick. When I finally said, "Sarah, are you effing kidding me right now? No one gives a crap that you are pregnant, they don't even know you." Sarah ran off crying, and my mother-in-law heard me say that and told my father-in-law, who screamed at my husband, saying how we hurt Sarah's feelings and how she is just excited. My husband doesn't think I did anything wrong, and my high school friends think I was fine too because they know the backstory. However, my mom and some of my husband's family think I am to blame for my reaction. Update 1. My husband and I finally had our honeymoon, and we were unreachable during our holiday because we were out of the country. Our whole family knew this before we left, and we told them the only way to reach us in an emergency was to call the hotel. We knew Sarah had an appointment while we were away, and we told her we would call her as soon as we got back home. One day, my husband and I were out of the hotel for the entire day doing activities, and when we got back, we found a note on our room door instructing us to go to reception. Once we got to reception, the staff informed us that we had 7 missed calls from family and gave us a number to call. We didn't know who called or what it was about, but we thought it might be an emergency. We called the number, and it was Matt. He seemed very confused and asked why we were calling him on our honeymoon if we were okay. We explained that the hotel said this number had called us 7 times and asked if everything was okay. Matt said everything was fine, but that Sarah wanted to talk to us. Matt called Sarah over, and she asked us how we were, if we were having fun, etc., but we just wanted to know what was going on because we were so worried. Sarah said she went to the doctor and got some news. We asked her if everything was okay because she kept not saying anything, and we could hear her and Matt whispering to each other. We heard Matt say to her, "Did you seriously call the hotel 7 times to tell them this? It could have waited." Sarah finally got back on the phone and said that the doctor said she was going to have twins. We said congratulations and asked if there was anything else as we thought it was an emergency. She said no, she just wanted to share the news with us as soon as she could. We ended the call and went to bed. Matt later told my husband that Sarah called the hotel each time without his knowledge and didn't want him to tell us. He also told my husband that she had gone around telling more people than they agreed upon and was more worried about the attention she was getting from her pregnancy than her actual pregnancy itself. They ended up going to therapy and counseling sessions to work through it all, which is great, but my husband and I don't have much to do with them now as we are still both a little sore over her actions. Thank you very much for watching to the story so far. I suggest you to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss tomorrow's stories.